Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a really powerful framework from Tom Ziglar's Choose to Win. We're going to break down how you can actually transform your life, not with some giant, overwhelming leap, but one simple, powerful choice at a time.
So let's just start with a question I think pretty much all of us have asked ourselves at some point, right? You ever feel stuck? You're juggling a million different things, and it just feels like something is off. You're busy, for sure, but are you actually making real progress?
Well, to help answer that, the book gives us this incredibly simple but really profound tool, the Wheel of Life. Just think of it like a quick diagnostic, a snapshot of where you're at today across the most important areas of your life.
And the idea is just brilliant in its simplicity. See, each one of those spokes represents a core part of your life. So if some spokes are long, meaning, hey, you're thriving there, but other spokes are short, well, your wheel is unbalanced. And you know what an unbalanced wheel means? It makes for a really, really bumpy ride. So the goal isn't about being perfect everywhere, it's about finding that balance.
Okay, so you've got a wobbly wheel. How do you actually go about fixing it? Well, the core idea here is that it's not about making these massive, overwhelming changes overnight. I mean, that's just a recipe for burnout and failure, isn't it?
And this quote, this is the heart of the whole thing. Real, lasting change doesn't come from some single heroic effort. Nope. It comes from the buildup, the cumulative effect of all the small, consistent, and intentional choices you make every single day.
The framework takes this huge, kind of daunting concept of improving my life, and it makes it totally manageable. How? By breaking it down into 7 distinct categories. You don't have to fix everything all at once. You just have to pick one place to start.
So, what are these 7 spokes on the wheel? Let's take a look. Because this is exactly where you're going to decide where to focus that very first choice. So here they are: mental, spiritual, physical, family, financial, personal, and career. The book treats each of these as its own area where you can make these small but super impactful choices. And the workbook actually walks you through an assessment of each one, which helps you pinpoint which spoke needs a little attention right now. Now here's what's really cool. For each of these 7 areas, the book gives you this powerful guiding principle. So for the mental choice, you get this quote. It's a reminder that your outlook, your energy, your choices, they're all a direct result of what you let into your mind. Garbage in, garbage out. And this just shows you we're moving way beyond theory here. This is a hands-on process. So for that physical spoke, you're not just vaguely thinking about your health. No, you are rating yourself on specific, tangible habits. Like, how much sleep are you really getting? What are you actually eating? It forces you to take a really honest look in the mirror.
Okay, so you've done the assessment. You know where your wheel is a little bit bumpy. But listen, knowing about it isn't power. Applying that knowledge is where the power is. So this next step is all about turning that self-awareness into immediate, concrete action.
In every single one of those 7 sections, you're going to ask yourself these same 3 powerful questions. They're designed to give you clarity on what you want, create a super compelling vision for why you want it, and then help you strategize how you're going to make it happen. This is the bridge that takes you from just wishing to actually doing.
So after all that deep thinking, all those questions, it all boils down to this one incredibly simple, totally doable step. For the area you pick to work on, you just identify one bad habit to stop and one good habit to start. That's it. Not 10 things, just one.
And that brings us right back home to the wheel of life. See, you can't fix the whole wheel at once. It's impossible. You'll just get discouraged. But you can strengthen one spoke. You can make one good choice today that lengthens that spoke just a tiny bit. And that single choice starts to make the whole ride a little bit smoother.
Which, of course, brings us to the core question of the entire book, and it's pointed right at you. Looking at your own wheel of life right now, what is the one small, simple, totally achievable choice you can make today that will start to bring things back into balance?